Hey, welcome back to Into the Music. My name is Chris. I'm here with my buddy Greg. And Greg, you got something for me to react to, so lay it on me.
I'm gonna lay it on you, man. I'm gonna lay some Jane's Addiction on you. You know the band.
I do.
Yeah. And 3 days. I'm gonna lay it on you in
Long
3 days.
tune, man.
Why not now? Tell me now. 3 days. That's the name of the song by Jane's
Okay.
Addiction. Go check
Okay.
it out. Or wherever you go. Where do you go? Where do you go? You play. You just stay right
Go to
there.
my inner sanctum.
Yeah. Just go with it. You go somewhere and come on back and tell us what you think.
Okay.
At this moment, you should be with us, feeling like we do, like you love to, but never will again. I miss you, my dear Ziola. I prepared the Christmas lights, a city of candles, fresh sheets, clouds, ashes,
Hey, I see you back. And you're
Yeah.
like, Greg, I never left. I was right there all the time. Anyway, so what do you think?
Um, when it first, well, okay. So he had that, vocal, spoken thing in the beginning. And
Yeah.
I don't know what he was saying. It was really low volume.
Yeah.
So then when I started getting into the song, I was like, okay, all right. And I didn't know of course, I didn't know where I was going to go. I mean, it wasn't until like maybe, I don't know, the quarter or third into the song, 'cause it's almost 11 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't until then that they really kicked in gear. And what really, really got my attention was, I gotta tell anybody watching this, if you listen to this, listen with earbuds or headphones, because the drumming was awesome. And on the headphones, it's all over the place, going back and forth, and it's just, they made great use of stereo for that drumming. And that really just got me going. And then, of course, with the guitar playing, you got it's Dave Navarro on this one.
Yeah.
I've always loved his guitar playing.
Yeah, me too.
And
Me too.
he got a lot of different sounds there in this one song.
Yeah.
And I mentioned in a recent video we did, I mentioned thrash, the category of thrash. Remember that was a musical
Yeah.
category?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hadn't heard that term in quite a long time. It was like, wasn't around for too long, but I know this band was considered one of the thrash bands. And I
Yeah.
don't know
Oh, wow.
really. You
Yeah.
remember?
I think I do now. Yeah, it's been such a long time ago. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
do you
is this
remember?
what
Yeah, what year do you think this is from?
I'm thinking maybe 92?
I mean, you're close. So
Around there?
so it's 1990.
Okay.
1990. It's off their album Ritual de lo Habitual.
Oh, that's the one with Been Caught Stealing on it, I think.
Been Caught Stealing, which like
Which is the biggest.
you heard on the radio
song.
stations
Well,
all over
that
the
and
place.
Jane Says, right?
I don't know if Jane Says is on that one. Maybe it
No,
is.
no,
Right?
no. I'm saying what their big songs were.
Right. Yeah. So this was their second studio album, and it would happen to be the last one before they did their first breakup.
Before they started arguing like crazy.
Well, they broke up in 1991. And then they came back again really briefly in 1997. Flea actually became their bass player.
That's funny because
While
Dave
Navarro
Navarro
was going over to Red Hot Chili. Yep.
Yeah, with Red Hot Chili Peppers on.
Yeah, which I happen to
what
like
was it,
that
One
album.
Hot Minute, right?
Yeah, and I happen to like that album
I do. I
more,
like it too. It
more
got
than
kind of
you.
panned
Oh,
by
I
the
thought you didn't
critics.
like it that much. I thought you didn't
loved
like
it.
it that much.
Loved it.
We gotta have another discussion about that. I know for a fact you didn't like
I
that.
didn't love all the songs on that. No, I liked the songs I liked were Coffee Shop, Aeroplane,
Aeroplane.
and I really liked Walkabout. I love that song.
Walkabout's a great song. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
another one on there that towards the end of the album, maybe second to the last one, I think is fantastic. Anyway,
I know we're reviewing Red Hot Chili Peppers now.
that's cool. Well, because they're really sort of intertwined, those two bands,
Yeah.
as the years went by. I mean, went through, they would still, I mean, there's a whole thing in Wiki about them sort of interchanging and
Okay. I didn't
the
really know
drummer
that.
playing with them in the 2000s.
Oh, I didn't know it was to that
11s
extent.
and 12s. Yeah. Filling in for what's his name, Chad or something, the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers, the drummer for so they're kind of
Okay.
close. Anyway, and then 2001, 2004, I think, and then 2008 and present. So they're present day band. And a couple of facts, a few facts. So although I talked about them breaking up. So that's one fact. This album sold 500,000 copies just 1 month after its release. So
Really?
that's fantastic, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's last four songs. You didn't have Spotify and all that at that point. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You had to buy a CD.
Yeah. The last four songs, including this one, 3 Days, were written by Perry Farrell in memory of his deceased girlfriend, Xiola. So I'm going to say Xiola. Xiola Blue.
XIA.
Xiola. Xiola. You think that's a good guess?
That's close enough, I would guess.
Yeah. So she died in 1987 at the
Yeah.
age of 19 from a heroin overdose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the song was inspired. This is from a contributor on Genius.com. The song was inspired by Xiola Blue, a former girlfriend of Perry Farrell, who came to Los Angeles for her father's funeral and spent 3 days with Farrell and his partner Casey Nicoli. It's about her,
Okay.
and and you get like that 3 days thing. So, and
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't thinking about the title when you said that.
yeah, and so the last 4 songs, I think I said, right? The last 4 songs of this album are really sort of dedicated to her,
Okay.
and yeah. And this is really interesting. So at some point in time after this album released, it could have been years after, it's not clear from Wiki, but Guitar World published an article ranking the 100 best guitar solos of all time and included the guitar solo. He probably had a few, I think, in the song, right? By Dave
Yeah,
Navarro.
I would say so.
Yeah. So his guitar work in the song is
That makes sense.
lauded by Guitar World and I'm sure other magazines, and it's
Right.
fantastic. It's amazing. It's a 10-minute song that I could have, done with maybe 5 minutes or whatever. But then you get lost in his guitar playing and it just,
Yeah, I
you get
think
lost.
once that guitar playing started, the time where it kind of disappeared for me.
Yeah, and that's the kind of band that they really were. I mean, they weren't around that long, although I guess they have come back in. I haven't really paid attention to them since the early 90s, when they put out those 2 albums. So
Right.
what I remember were they were either like putting out like songs where there were like 2 or 3 chords, nothing really complex, but they would stretch out the chords, they would fill in as much as possible with, with the bass lines and then the
Mhm.
guitars and reverb and the effects, and it was kind of dreamy and sort of and Farrell's voice was always like in the stratosphere and stuff, and it was kind of cool.
He's definitely got a unique voice.
And then if you weren't doing that, then they would put out this really frenetic and energetic, stuff that was just like, just in your
Favorite
face.
word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you could say this was kind of frenetic with the.
It did, like,
with
there was that time where yeah.
And just doing these runs that were incredibly fast.
Oh God, yeah.
That's the thrashing thing, I think. That's where I think.
Yeah.
I think that term comes from. That's based on the type of guitar playing. I think, I'm not positive.
Yeah. The whole band too. Stephen Perkins, the drummer, and Chris Chaney, the bass player. They were all tight, man. They were all great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So Bob, this is your reaction. So you put a final bow on this and take it out.
Okay. Hit buttons below, except stay away from the thumbs down thing. Very, very bad. It will haunt you if you hit it.
They're like, that's really cool. I want to see that. Hit this like.
Yeah, it's like a button that says don't press this, and you're like, you gotta press it, right? Anyway. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks, Bob, for the request. And we'll catch you next time on Into the Music.
See ya.